Hey, it's the first Mystery Fifth Hour of 2023. Welcome in, along with Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, and Rockstar, who are dressed like the Sprockets. Is it time to dance?
Little girl.
It does seem like we double up a lot.
I know it's hard not to. I mean, we've all got the next round merchandise. We love wearing it because it's great looking stuff.
But you can get it in our store. Right
you can get it in our store, nextround.store, but it's hard not to wear it the same day somebody else wears it. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's no way we can.
Well, I just got this one handed to me yesterday. Do you guys have this one?
I do have that one.
Okay, so I was the last one to get it. Unless you got it yours yesterday?
No, I got mine Friday, I believe.
Okay.
Well, Rockstar knows you don't wear the T-shirt of the band to the concert as you're watching it.
I used to do it
Would you do it the next day?
The next day.
Yeah, I used to laugh at
Mine
people.
would still smell like weed.
It's all crunchy because it's all crispy.
But keep in mind now, I grew up in Anniston. We were not getting those concerts in Anniston. That meant
you had to drive to Birmingham.
If you weren't at school the next day, you had driven to Birmingham the night before. You had gone to
Olive Garden.
Yeah, Olive Garden to get a great meal. AC/DC, and you were wearing the T-shirt back to school.
I always got a T-shirt. You know, when you go to concerts now, and I guess all T-shirts kind of expensive online. If you get
they're super expensive at the concert,
but they're like $70 now.
Because that's where the band's making their money now, because you make it on live music and merchandising.
So really, because of the way music downloads work, touring, going on tour,
correct,
is the way they make.
That's
their money
why you saw the resurgence of like Alanis Morissette doing the 25-year anniversary of Jagged Little Pill. 3 Doors Down did the anniversary of their album where they're playing it in sequential order. Then greatest hits after that.
That's
it's just because we don't have a new album, but hey, we got a 25th anniversary. Let's go out on this one album and do greatest hits.
Yeah, last time I saw Black Crowes, they were doing Shake Your Moneymaker. They were just playing it.
It's just like we don't have to have a new album out. We can just do this and make merchandising.
You know they're struggling for money if it's like the 23rd anniversary.
That's right. We're not even winning the
23 has always been an important number. You guys know that.
So the last concert I dropped late enough, it was Billie Eilish, and she wanted a hoodie. And so I gave her $100, and I figured the hoodie would be $50. Well, she shows back up, and the hoodie was actually $100.
Yeah.
$100 for the hoodie.
$100 for a hoodie. That is that seems a little exorbitant.
Or you got played by your teenage daughter.
I could have got played by my teenage daughter.
That is also a possibility.
She said it was $100.
Yeah. The Mystery Fifth Hour presented every single week by our friends at McCurry Van Car Rental. Good job, Rockstar.
Thanks, man.
Listen, if it's the local rental company, if you're trying to find that truck, the SUV, the passenger van, they make it easy to rent. They get you in and out fast. They got locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and in Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. Reserve yours today, 256-559-1003. That's 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com, McCurryRentals.com. Now, this doesn't often happen with the Mystery Fifth Hour, but as we are recording this one during our live show earlier today, someone brought up the idea of using this as a topic. Was it your idea, Lance?
Yeah, well, I brought up the movie The Butterfly Effect, which I've never seen.
I haven't either. That's Russell Crowe. Is that right?
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher. I think Amy Smart's in it, Ethan Suplee. I know a lot about the movie, but I've never seen it. And basically, it's about making different decisions that would alter your life patterns.
And we talked about how one of the biggest lies people believe is your decisions only affect you. And they really don't. Every decision you make affects somebody other than you.
Yeah, so I think we've all got pivotal moments in life where we make a decision that is a game changer. It's a life changer. And mine...
Well, now, real quickly, after you brought it up, you yourself even said, I don't even want to do that topic because I don't want to talk about mine.
Why don't you be the closer then?
Yeah, you be
I'll
the closer.
be the closer, yeah, because mine gets really personal. I'm going to drink a little bit more bourbon.
Okay, so it's done away.
And it does affect a lot of people.
But as I told you, it doesn't have to be your first one. It could be your fourth one. It doesn't have to be your first one.
No, it doesn't. But I mean, I thought about this when I was actually flipping channels and I saw The Butterfly Effect was on.
Right.
And I was thinking to myself, what are those moments in my life?
Yeah.
And I think they've done other movies. What was the one with Gwyneth Paltrow? The subway one? I didn't see it either, but she doesn't get on in time. And if she would have got on, things are different.
Well, essentially, I've seen The Butterfly Effect. Essentially, it's Ashton Kutcher, and it shows...
Is it a shitty movie, by the way?
It's not. It's an interesting concept. Like, they made a sequel that he wasn't involved with. I didn't see that. But he makes a crucial decision. He's in love with, I think it's Amy Smart. He's in love with her, but he can't get the girl or something like that. He makes this crucial decision. It shows he wakes up and he's in a prison because he made this one decision of a butterfly effect. So he's in prison for a couple. Then it's another thing where he goes back to that one moment. It's like, what if I did this? And it shows he did this, and this time he's estranged from his parents or something like that. It's been so long since I've seen it, but there's like 5 different scenarios that it goes through. It's just really interesting how it goes. how one decision affects all these people, or she's a drug addict on one, like because he didn't propose to her, and one of her, she's living in a trailer as a drug addict. So mine.
Speaking of drug addicts.
Yeah, in 8th grade, I quit soccer in 6th grade for a while, and I promised my dad said, you got to do something.
You were going to be the next Pele, weren't you?
This is even better. I hated soccer because I played it since I was like 6 years old.
Oh, we call him White Pele.
That's right.
Very white
The
Pele.
ginger Pele.
That can't really Pele. So my dad said, you got to have some extracurricular activity. So I was like, I'll do basketball. I still played basketball, and I was like, I'm going to work my ass off, and I'm going to be on the 7th grade basketball team. So
Goals.
Austin Lutz, who came in here, the doctor,
Yeah.
he and I made a pact like, hey, we're going to go to the Civic Center every day this summer. And we did, every day for at least 3 or 4 hours, and I got so much better at basketball. Didn't make the team. Austin did, started.
And he's a doctor now.
Yeah, I'm on Double Down Media.
Yeah.
And then
That's right.
You get to play video games during the week.
Winner.
8th grade, the next year, I decided I'm going to double up. I'm going to go even longer. I'm going to be on the 8th grade team. And I did this so much more, got better at basketball and everything. I mean, I'm 5'8" white kid. I got promise in basketball in the future, but that was going to be my thing, was basketball. And so then didn't make the team again. And then I was in a speech and drama class, and one of my friends said he played guitar. And I was going to do the same thing for 9th grade. I was pissed. I'm going to be 9th grade, I'll be on the team. And he said, I'm starting a band. I've always heard you sing in the hallways. Have you ever performed? I said,
Oh, wow.
I've never, ever performed in front of anybody. No. And he said, well,
You're an introvert. You're singing in the hallways?
just by myself, like at my locker, just humming to myself. And he said that we need a singer. We don't have one. And we're not really a band. We're going to try to. And so I was like, I'll try it. I've never performed. And I remember we went to this place and we practiced over and over a Red Hot Chili Peppers song. And it wasn't, and for some reason, I knew the principal, and I asked the principal, is there any way?
Which song was it?
Under the Bridge.
My Friends.
Oh, okay.
My Friends by the Chili Peppers.
Weren't you going to guess Under the Bridge? I mean,
No.
I was going to Californication.
That was way after. So
I never liked that song
I
either.
talked
Do
to
you
the
like that
principal.
Love it.
I love that song. It's a great album. I talked to the principal. I said, is there any way we can get our band on to play? And I've never sung in front of people. And he said, well, we're having a pep rally for the basketball team. Shocker. And the high school gymnastics team is coming in to do a routine. So when they are moving the floor mats, we got to kill time. Why don't y'all play?
We literally have
You're
nothing
always
else to
throwing a
do.
bone, aren't you?
So we played in the corner. We played My Friends. I had never sung in front of anybody, and we
Right.
did played in front of the entire school.
In front of your peers.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
that's
a
tough-
terrible
tough
rendition
gig.
of the song. And then said at that moment, I said, "This is what I want to do." So I'm going to be a basketball star. I'll play for Duke. I know I will. But then
Right, I mean, you're a gritty white guy.
Do you ever
gotta
have
show it.
aspirations to have a regular job?
No, I never. Can you imagine me at a desk job?
No, I really can't.
So, but that's what changed in 8th grade. That switch from my momentum of being I want to be a basketball player in high school and everything, college, and then not finish college, to being a musician that I'm going to be on MTV. That didn't happen either.
Yeah.
So that's my big change.
Are you glad you made that decision?
I think so. I don't think I would have lasted in basketball. I really don't.
Well, you've made way more money playing music than you would playing basketball.
Well, correct, but I could have been the next
Jimmer Fredette.
White Chocolate. Was it Jason Williams?
Yeah.
I could have been him.
You got more Grace and Allen than you, I think. You have
Could you
Jason
imagine Rockstar slapping the floor at Duke?
Being cocky.
I mean, for me, I won't go personal. I'll go professional. Several steps along the way. One of them, we wouldn't be together. Brown's the one that was calling me on the reg.
He was courting you.
When I was in TV, he was asking, what have you heard about the Alabama coaching search? And we started doing a little show, and then finally it came time to where they were going to want me to read live endorsements. And I went and told the guys at NBC 13, I've got to read commercials over in my new gig at Jocks. And they're like, you can't read commercials and do your gig here.
Oh, everybody at Jock's read commercials.
That is a game over, is what we call it.
That was one of my mottos.
And I was like, well, then I'm
Boy,
out.
you live by that.
So I quit a high-paying local TV job
To work with this idiot.
to go be on AM radio with this guy. And my wife thought I was absolutely insane crazy to do it.
You attach yourself to his rickshaw.
Hey, but how long has that been now?
That was in 2003, right?
And I'm not
I get confused,
exaggerating,
man. Back there.
but I know you own my
Left nut.
left nut.
Yes, yes.
And I got my right nut out there for
That's
Georgia
right.
TCU.
Yep.
But I'd put the entire sack that you have spent more time with him since you guys started doing
That's
the
not
show
true.
than you have with Maggie. I
They
guarantee
sleep
it.
in the same bed. He and I have never
Okay,
slept.
outside of sleep.
He and I
Outside
have
of
never
sleep.
slept together.
Outside of sleep, maybe. I mean, we're in a locked room together 4 hours a day.
I get that.
I like how
Yeah.
it's locked.
I've never liked it.
But other steps along the way, like I got offered a job, and I can't remember what town it is now, right out of college, to do AM radio, morning drive, just be their news and sports guy in the mornings, and do their high school football game in Northeast Alabama, somewhere in the Shoals area.
Dude, how did you pass that shit up?
Yeah, wait now, it was gonna be $15,000 a year.
Are you kidding?
Oh, man.
But
This is getting better.
It was gonna be in my career.
You could
You
almost
gonna drive a
show us.
motorcycle too?
And I turned it
Well, they
down.
let you lock up the building. Oh, I got keys.
And I turned it down to work for like 2 weeks with my ex-girlfriend's dad in a car dealership over in
Oh
Talladega,
God, you were
Silicaca.
selling cars?
Yeah,
I
No,
wouldn't- I wouldn't buy
I was
this.
in the back filling out papers.
Why you look at the car you're driving? You don't need a car.
I think great.
And in that time,
Yeah.
by turning that down, I was able to get to my first job at CBS 42. And then at CBS 42, this guy, Alan Cutler, wanted me to interview for this job. I did not want to move to Lexington. I'd only been there to cover the game, which meant bad hotel room out to Commonwealth Stadium, which is away from Lexington. I had not seen anything of the town, didn't know anything about it. I thought Kentucky was a bunch of hillbillies, and they ironically thought the same about Alabamians.
Right.
But I didn't want to go there, and I would not let them fly me up for the interview. I would not stay overnight, then put me in a hotel. I drove 6 hours up to Lexington to interview for this job. I was the biggest dick during the interview. I was sitting down watching the middle of the day news with their news director, just picking everybody apart as I typically do.
Yeah, I can see that.
I was very okay with that because I do it all the time. Just picking them apart, just trying not to get this job. And I walk in, and it was locally owned. They took me back to the owner who had an office there, Mr. Barfield. And Mr. Barfield, we'd like to hire you. How much would it take for you to start here? And I was making $13,000 at CBS 42, and I think
13.5.
I think I
You know he did this.
I think I threw out $48,000. For some reason, that's the number, $48,000. And they said, "Can you start in 2 weeks?" And I'm horrible at saying no. I said yes, and literally cried in my car all the way home because
In four-wheel drive?
I did not want to leave Birmingham. Cried all the way home, and then I had to tell these people who had really given me a start, but were not paying me shit, that I was leaving to go to Lexington for $48,000.
That's a heck of a raise, though, and the cost of living in
Yeah.
Lexington is way lower than
That
Birmingham.
really is.
I don't think it is. It's pretty. It's a
really?
class system.
Dude, you were able to go to Applebee's anytime you wanted to, right?
They had a
That Bourbon Street.
You know what?
Steak.
I'm going to do two sides
they
tonight.
had a fast food pasta place there, like a Fazoli's.
Oh, I've eaten at a Fazoli's.
Yeah, I've eaten at Fazoli's.
They used to have good, I think they had good breadsticks, if I remember right.
Those little garlic breadsticks.
They
like
try to
that.
fill you up on that where you don't taste the other shit.
That's right. And then the chicken Alfredo.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be 1,000 calories. That's what I would get for lunch every day.
48 grand, Dunaway's living large. Funny story about Dunaway. So when we were doing AM radio together, one time we were doing the show, I'll never forget this, from the Hoover Met for the SEC baseball tournament. And I can't remember if it was Alabama or Auburn, whoever's rights Jocks had, I think it was Alabama, was playing a game, and it was supposed to be on the FM, and they informed us that they couldn't interrupt the FM, so they couldn't interrupt us on the AM the next day, and Dunaway got pissed.
Really?
Yes, I know. So he disappears.
Still mad about it
He
right now.
disappears for like an hour and a half because the next day we're going to miss like half our show in the middle of the summer, like when there's not crap to talk about, right? But it was an insult.
Always stuff to talk about.
There was an insult, right?
They were going to let that LT guy show be up.
No, it really was. It was your show. I don't know. I think we were afternoons then. I think it was probably fine.
It was probably fine.
So this is before you tried to get me fired.
Yeah.
A little
Bad
bit more.
guess.
Save it for the documentary.
Yeah, so Dunaway disappears for like an hour and a half. I was like, where were you? And he comes like, I was getting job applications.
What, you go to Starbucks, movie gallery?
I did.
He was walking around the freaking Hoover Met. I was like, job applications for who? Because I talked to Alabama Power, and you named off a couple I knew it was total horse crap.
No. I did apply for Alabama Power twice in my career.
Not then, though. Not walking around the Hoover Met that day.
I did.
No, you did not.
I did.
No.
Called a friend.
Called a friend.
Payphone.
So
Called a friend.
mine's not like anything like scandalous or anything, but I was on the golf team my freshman year at Jacksonville State, and my first semester went well, my second semester not so well. And
Got the yips?
And the coach, I did not get the yips, but I did not play well. The coach called me in.
He brought in a bunch of.
Well, he brought in a lot of people from Argentina, yes. And I was.
Son, you can't play golf with that Mr. Echo crown on your head. I'm playing with the crown on my head.
So you were the original guy that got pushed out by Liv?
Yeah, but yes. So Coach Hobbs calls me in. He's like, I can't renew your scholarship next year. I'm sorry. You're welcome to walk on. But if you don't want to walk on,
Did you say, well, you really can?
yeah, this is up to you now. He says, if you don't want to walk on, I've called, and he gave me a couple of coaches of some other programs, and they've got a spot for you. I've put in a word, and they're willing to put you on scholarship. So I had the decision to make, do I want to, A, walk on, which I didn't really want to do, or change schools completely.
Was it
after my
Wake
freshman year.
in Texas?
I assume it wasn't Vandy and Stanford.
No,
It was not Vandy and Stanford.
not SEC level, which I was slightly disappointed in.
DeVry.
But I was dating my wife, Jennifer. She was in school at Jacksonville State, and it was the next semester where a guy named John Holder, who had gone to Jack State as well, offered me a job in radio. And I mean, honest to goodness, I had not gone to college to do radio, so I don't know that if I had left Jacksonville State, I'd ever even gotten in this profession.
Where were you going to be?
Huh?
Where were you going to be?
I was going to go into public relations.
PR.
PR, man. I was going to be a PR guy. And I mean, I hadn't really put a whole lot of thought in it, honestly. I'd not really decided on my career path yet. I just went there to play a little golf, and that had gone away. But I mean, like, finding up, one of them was West Georgia, which is just across, obviously we were over in East Alabama, and it was just across the state line there, University of West Georgia. Didn't sound too appealing to me. So I was just like, you know what, I'm done. And I mean, ultimately, that was a really good decision. I doubt I'd be playing professional
Well, you
golf
play
right
more
now.
golf now than you played then, right?
No, that's right. And I would not be professional right now. So this is not going to be as good as Lance's.
Well, so now that you tell me that you were going to be in a PR, I really need a honest opinion. Do I go personal or professional on my butterfly moment?
I think the more interesting one's going to be personal,
No, you got to go professional.
but Jim wants you to be safe and go professional. Rockstar, you get
I don't want to be the deciding vote. I mean, I would love to just the hint of the personal, but I guess you're going to give it away.
Our viewers are going to tell you that there's no win for you going personal here.
No,
There's
our viewers.
victory.
No, our viewers want the juiciest.
No, our viewers
Donovan,
love
you're
Lance.
out of your mind.
Our viewers are going to be totally happy with option B.
No, all we're going to hear is, I can't believe you didn't do the juicy one.
I can't decide.
After the break.
It's really
This is a good time for me to remind everyone this is presented by McCurry Van and Car Rental. Trucks, SUVs, passenger vans, they make it easy to rent, get you in and out fast. Locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. Call and reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com.
My last pitch is that we're talking about butterfly effect as your choices.
By the way, this is going to go so deep, we're only going to have to do one topic today.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Your choices impact others, and by you going choice A here,
Which is which? The personal or
the
the
personal one is going to impact personal people, a variety of other people, just by seeing this.
Oh, no, you're right.
So go B.
Oh, wow. Oh, Dunaway, the fun police.
I'm
Boring. Let's go professional.
It will go professional.
How many people will it impact on the personal? Is there somebody that will watch
At least
this?
4.
How, you don't even know what he's going to talk about.
100% know what he's going to talk about.
Well, I mean,
Well, you don't know the moment, like everything that happened, and it was.
God, this is so juicy.
No, I will tell you, it was an
like
Ian
dangling meat.
Fitzsimmons decision that led to my life changing completely.
well, that sounds professional. So it's professional,
Professional
and personal
and personal together.
So they meet together.
But I could do just a professional one.
You could go all the way back to Ian's choice that one night.
One night.
That leads all the way.
He showed up at my door.
Yep.
He showed up at my door one night, and it
led to-
completely changed the landscape of my entire life.
I bet I could tell almost part of the story.
I wish somebody would tell
Yeah,
it.
'cause
Either
holy
one of
hell.
them. Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell
You're
it.
too deep
Okay,
now.
I'll tell it.
All right, go.
More
This is the
bourbon.
personal.
More bourbon.
Yeah. So this was in early August of 2009.
Okay.
And Ian shows up at my door, and I was living at my former house, not the one before I'm living at right now. And he shows up and he's like, hey man, we need to have a drink. So I knew something was up. So we went downstairs to a little bar setup I had in the original Club LT. And so I pour us a drink, and he said, I gotta let you know I'm going back to Dallas. And I've loved doing the show with you. We did it for about a year together.
2 years.
He's like, was it 2 years?
2
Yeah,
years.
it was.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I remember when he first came back, and he was at SEC Media Days with all of us, and they were like, "Hey, Ian's coming back. He's starting in 2 weeks," and everybody was saying, "Hey, it's going to be good to have you here another couple of years." He's like, "Why does everybody say that? Why does everybody say?" Because it's like, Ian, you've had 15 jobs.
Well, it was his wife,
Yeah.
Kat,
she
that I
did.
love.
Yeah, no.
But she's from Dallas, and so they got an opportunity to go back. So,
Right.
I understood it. It really hit me hard because we were having a really good time on the air. Do you know what direction I'm going to go with this?
No,
And you said you knew the story.
no, this is different.
Okay.
It involved a different aspect.
Okay.
So no.
Now, I'm probably going to go that direction with this. So anyway, he shows up and he's like, I'm
Nervous.
I'll never forget though, after he left that night, I was laying in bed and I almost got really emotional. I was like, my career is just not going to be the same because, you and I had a good rapport, good friendship, but we had different co-hosts where it was work. It wasn't great.
It wasn't fun.
Yeah, and what we had going with Ian was what we've got now. So, anyway, I wake up the next day and we try to figure out what to do, and we end up finding a co-host. It didn't work out, and then we all get together, and that worked out. But going back to that moment in August, Ian had other things going on in Birmingham, and one of the things
Trivia.
was trivia.
Okay. Now we're getting to where
Yeah.
Okay, the
thought we were
worlds have
going.
collided here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this now.
And
We
so,
just started one chapter before the story.
Yeah. I did not know the backstory there entirely.
so Ian was like, man, it's
This all goes back to Ian.
no, but it does.
It does.
If the fucker never would have left trivia, I never would have taken that job.
Okay.
But anyway, he comes to me and he said, hey, look, you have an opportunity if you want to do trivia or whatever. So Will Haver, who owns
Yeah.
Odie's, he called
Good
me
friend
up.
of all of ours.
Yeah, great guy, Taco Mama and Odie's, and still do trivia to this day, 13 years later. But he called me up and he said, hey, look, will you just do me a favor? Ian, obviously, is leaving. Will you do 2 weeks until I find a replacement? I was like, I really don't want to do it.
Longest 2 weeks of your life, man.
I really don't want to do it. And so he's like, please just do it until I can find somebody. And I said, okay, I'll do it. So I did it for 2 weeks, and I'll never forget, after the 2 weeks, I was like, I'm done. And he brought somebody else in, who we all know, for 1 week. It didn't work out. He called me. He's like, I cannot have that person back out here. You've got to come back out until I find somebody. And the next thing I know, I'm stuck there. And my ex-wife told me, she was like, this trivia thing's not a good thing. She was like, I think you being out on Wednesday nights. And I was abusing a little bit. I was staying out a little later than I should. I mean, there would be some
You mean
nights.
trivia didn't end at midnight?
Trivia didn't end at 2 a.m. sometimes, don't we?
Oh my.
But yeah, I would stay out a little late at times. And anyway, trivia led to me meeting somebody special in my life. And there we are.
Is that how you thought it was going to turn out?
Exactly.
Yes.
how it turned out.
Is that enough? I met a lot of people at trivia, and trivia is, I'm still, again, 13 years later doing it. And without that, I really don't know if we all would have hooked up. I mean, obviously, if Ian never would have left, that was a huge
No,
moment.
you're right.
I don't know where I'd be. I'd be unemployed.
You did Alabama Power.
No, but I'll tell you,
I'd be on
here's
a pole
another
right now.
This is-
stringing wires from the damn storm.
Oh, please don't.
No, this is another aspect to it, honestly. Financially, I was in a good spot before divorce with alimony, child support, everything that comes with that. And I might not have done what we're doing here today because the safe route was continue to go
right.
with
Oh,
what,
there's no doubt, yeah.
with what I've got.
Yeah.
And then looking long term, I would have been like, how many more years do I have? And I would have sat down with my ex and said, what's the play here?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I still might have, I might not have though. So I mean, it could have affected a lot of people.
How many-
It did.
Our clock was ticking on the AM. So if Ian hadn't left when he left, and then you guys went through a couple of missteps with co-host, Brown would
That was
be
what, 9, was it like 4 or
Brown
5
would be producing what then was the opening drive. Probably you'd have gone back to producing,
What an insulting thing to say to me.
and I would be unemployed.
Alabama
I'd be on a
Power.
pole.
Now, I can promise you I would not be producing a radio show.
I would,
Yeah,
I
losers do that.
I would be out of the business.
I would
But
be
look,
producing
I really
that radio
do
show.
think, like everybody's at peace now. I think things really happen for a reason. And for whatever reason, I was supposed to do trivia. I'm fucking still doing it.
What time?
I'm like old.
How long did you do it before you met this special person?
Years.
Yeah.
I mean, the
So it
first
wasn't right away, obviously.
No. I mean, we had a routine for a while. I mean,
Don't say it.
no, when we started doing trivia, like Rockstar wasn't a regular. He was nice enough to pick me up because I would like to drink at trivia.
Really?
That's a shocker.
What would happen was,
Like, I didn't know you had a driver's license the first 8 years of the
Most
show.
people didn't.
8 years
We
of the
had-
show, Rockstar drove you everywhere.
I drove him because I had my friend Clay worked at the restaurant next door named Fire.
Yep.
And then one night I realized I was listening to the questions and they were literally doing Trivial Pursuit. And
Oh,
so-
like out of the box?
yeah,
All the
almost.
cards?
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
I finally said to Will, I was like, "Hey, could I write some questions? I think I could come up with better questions." And he was like, "Throw a few coins to me." And then I did it for like 3 or 4 weeks. And then one day I was like, "Could I get a mic on the stage? Would that be?" Because I'm doing all the questions, and then he's mispronouncing words, and I'm just walking across the thing to Fire to talk to my friend, and then coming back, and then
So without the move, if Ian would have kept doing it, you never would have done it.
no, absolutely not. I would never been asked. I had to force my way up on stage because I was like, I think I could contribute if you give me a mic. I could make jokes or something because it was. You can tell there was a shift with the crowd participation. It
Oh,
was,
yeah.
It was a lot older when we started, and then it skewed younger because
So-
there were a lot.
So
older
if Fitzy never takes the job in Dallas,
Yep.
chances are we never get together as a radio
Yep.
show. Chances are you never do trivia, so you never meet a special person in your life.
Yeah, so I'm still possibly married. Possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah, chances are you never do trivia, but y'all two would still be together, but the four of us wouldn't. I mean, it would be very unlikely. I don't know what the scenario
And I
would have
also
been.
Chances
wonder.
are that Odie's is still just Odie's, and Will Haver never opens up
Taco Mama.
Are they stopped doing
Oh
trivia?
yeah, boy, we really led to that success. I do wonder how many people you and I have met through Odie's. Like Will and I were friends before, but we've become really good
Yeah.
friends since. And so that's a special friendship. But there's also other people that I've met through that one night.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've started a damn band with Will. I mean, Will's dating Rockstar. I mean, one of the most upcoming acts right now. Look for it in city stages next year.
So did you ever
Crawfish
think,
boil?
Yeah.
what has it been? Almost 15 years now?
13.
13
Yeah.
years. Wow. It's a lot of trivia.
And you see
You
a
ever
lot,
repeat any questions?
Yeah.
Well, Harry does the questions now. Yeah,
you see a lot of when you're doing it for 13 years. You see a lot of people that you see some girls that are in nursing school and everything, and then you see them again. Hey, you stopped coming to trivia. Well, it's 10 years ago. I got married and had 2 kids.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, we're still doing it. We're still hosting it. She's like, yeah, we can't get out because we have kids.
Hey, and I'll never forget. So this.
So pretty soon, wait, one of the original trivia
Great
girls,
kids. Yeah,
their kids. My mom used to come to trivia.
Well, I always said, so I had like age numbers that, like, I'm not doing trivia past this, and I've gone past it, and I've gone past it. But I have said when my daughter starts showing up at trivia at a legal age, I am absolutely done.
And she is now within 4 years of that age.
2
Sorry,
years.
No, I'm sorry.
think
2
she's-
years
yeah.
of that age. Yeah.
Yeah. Not whether or not she shows
No,
up
I
or
don't think
not.
she's coming
No.
to trivia, but she's 2
She
years away
might.
from being able
She
to.
might. She might.
And you legitimately will quit the day Leighton walks through that door and says, "Where did I put my team name?"
I think I have to because, you know,
I want to be there that night.
we've
too.
noticed, and look, and I
My
hate,
dad's old balls are still here.
At least one of them is. One of his balls.
and this is not
Oh, what a great team name.
This is not a humble brag. There's a reason for bringing this up. There was a time at trivia where, like, people would come, give their answers, but I would also get a phone number here and there.
Yeah.
And now, not only are they saying sir to me, they're saying sir to him.
Here is my team.
So I'm like, holy shit, we've gotten old.
I don't need your phone number, Mr. Taylor. I'm in the class with Leighton.
Yeah. So, you know, things have changed a lot. But I will tell you, trivia has, you know, there was a time where I thought it was like a negative impact, but when I look at it in retrospect, I think it's really been positive.
Well, I think it's like anything. There's some positive and some negative.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost anything in life, right? You're going to get a little bit of both.
But, you know, I think that was the change that, I don't know, I just, it changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be Al Michaels if I'd gone and taken that high school job.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. That was the
I
thing
would
that
have
was
never
going
met you guys.
Yeah, I was going to have you doing Sunday Night Football for sure.
That's insulting.
Yeah.
My professional one wasn't nearly as interesting.
Well, I mean,
but I did get an offer from ZZK. I was going to go there. I'll do it real quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When? What year was this?
So this
To
was
sell or be on the air?
to sell. To
Okay.
sell. Yeah, I'm gonna be on the air. Hey, that was Travis Tritt.
You have to hold the shit out of that mic. And you're so aggressive. Hey, that was Travis Tritt!
LT Stop 6 Rodeo Roundup.
No, this was in
Then he went, Travis Tritt.
this was in 2000.
Here's a quarter, I don't care.
This was 2002. And
Wearing a
so
cowboy hat.
I had a lot of people chase me down to try to sell for them. And in 2002, ZZK was a big deal back then.
It was.
And
Rick and Bubba in the morning, country music all day.
That was actually before Rick and
It
Bubba
was
were
before
there.
Rick and
Yeah.
Bubba, but it was still a huge, huge deal. I think it was Patty in the Dock in the mornings or something.
Patty in the Dock in the
But
morning.
I
country
met
music all
secretly
day.
with the suits at ZZK at a couple of different places, and they offered me a guarantee, which was double what I was making at Jocks at that point.
And it's pretty well unheard of
Yeah,
in that industry.
and it was
yeah.
a guarantee, and I think it was a 2-year guarantee. So I went to our general manager then, Terry Bond, and I said, look, I'm out, I'm gone. And he's like, look, I know you want to be on the air. You've been doing a Monday night show. You've been doing the original Roundtable, which was an hour specialty show. He's like, we're about to have some moves, and one of the moves, we're moving Scott Griffin out of the mornings into the middays, and I'll let you be his partner. But the one caveat is you got to do it for free. He was like, we're not going to pay you. And if you earn your stripes.
I'm listening.
And then.
So this other place is going to pay me double. And you're not going to
Guaranteed, but you're going to
But
do it for free.
again, my love back then was entertaining and it was sports. And so to have the opportunity, I bet on myself. And I worked the first year free. And then the second year, he's like, okay, we're going to give you $1,000 a month. And so then I made $1,000 a month. In year 3, I got $1,500 a month. And I just slowly built it up.
When we finally
But if I would have gone to ZZK, I don't know where my life would be.
This summer, when we finally do the history of our show, there was a conversation we once had with a general manager who had been on the job for like 2 days. And it was similar to that one. It was a very uncomfortable conversation that we'll cover. Only uncomfortable because we'd never really met the guy. We walk in and sit down and say, hey, by the way, I've got some bad news for you. Yeah. Anyway.
Welcome to town. Yeah. You need our boxes when we're done?
All right, that is going to do it for the Mystery Fifth Hour. Very, very introspective Mystery Fifth Hour. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you support McCurry Van and Car Rental. Rockstar, show it to them.
That's right here.
Trucks, SUVs, passenger vans, easy to rent, get you in and out fast. Locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. Reserve yours today, 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe on YouTube, share us everywhere, and follow us on social media at Next Round Live. Thank you for joining us for the Mystery Fifth Hour.